What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on FRC stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on the price chart and how we caught this movement to the upside that brought us to its highest point about 40% of potential profit and to the current range about 15% of potential profit. Then I will continue with the fundamental news and I will show you what news might be the next potential catalyst for this asset. And at the end of this video I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis and I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. Let me show you right here that I made my previous video at this very point when this asset reached its crucial point, its apex, and I marked this apex by two lines. This sloping line was the range of resistance, clear range of resistance, and this was the range of support at roughly slightly below $12 mark. And my main assumption was that we could start to accumulate our position right here, but we have to keep in mind that this asset could go lower and it might reach some lower price targets, then it should have a bounce to the upside. But also we have an opportunity to see the bounce to the upside from this very point, and it happened. And definitely this movement was quite lucrative, as already mentioned, of about 40%. And right now it is consolidating at the ranges of roughly $14. So in my technical analysis I will show you what should we expect next and how important this level is. But right now let's continue with the fundamental news. And first of all, let me show you this article that was published on cnbc.com and it's titled "First Republic rebounds by more than 10% on Monday to lead regional banks higher." And the key bullets are following. Bloomberg News reported on Saturday that US officials are considering expanding the federal programs that provide liquidity to banks, in part to help First Republic while it searches for a buyer. CNBC reported on Saturday that the deposit inflows into large banks from the smaller regional banks has slowed substantially. Regional bank stocks have been under significant pressure this month, with regulators closing Silicon Valley Bank on March the 10th and Signature Bank 2 days later, following significant deposit outflows. And I will put the link on this article in the description below in order to you might read this article by yourself and make your own conclusion. But let me show you further information. On Seeking Alpha we also have this article that was published yesterday, and right here we have another bullet point that it says, in addition, deposit outflows weren't as bad as feared as analysts examined Federal Reserve data that was released after Friday's close. And here is the link on another article on Seeking Alpha as well, and let me quote you these paragraphs. Evercore ISI analyst John Pancari said, "The shift appears a bit milder than expected and could help calm fears somewhat. The data demonstrate that the top 25 domestically chartered banks' deposit market share increased to 66.4% as of March 15 from 65.7% in the previous week." So as you can see, these numbers are not so significant in a bigger scale, in a bigger picture. And let me quote you further. The top 25 banks' deposits rose by $120 billion, while 850 smaller banks lost roughly $108 billion in deposits. In aggregate, this should screen well versus fears and bode well for perceptions of regional bank liquidity and capital, Pancrati wrote in a note to clients. Oppenheimer analyst Chris Katowski said, "There will no doubt be other deposit leakages in coming weeks and months, but this, we believe, probably represents the worst of the initial panic reaction." And definitely, as long as we have the diminishing level of panic on the banking sector, definitely the banking sector share prices will bounce to the upside in order to unload its oversold position. And that is why we have to be prepared for this, and we are working on this by basically every other day. So let's continue with other news. Let me show you that FRC is still on the second place on the watchers section in stocktweets.com website, and it is on the second place of the most active section at the same very website. This means the Stock Tweets community has a very strong attention to this stock, and that's why we also might see an increase in volatility. So on top of that, Wall Street Bets community also has this First Republic Bank on the second place during last 24 hours. With increasing number of mentions, it might be another sign that this asset could go higher, and that's why we have to be prepared for this. But on the other hand, the banking crisis is still on the table, and we have to take a closer look on other banks that might be at the edge of bankruptcy, and this is basically the risks of the decision making on the stock market. That's why we have to be very cautious. So let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, first of all, let me show you some magic that is appearing right now, and I've showed you this multiple times. So we had, as I already mentioned, this strong range of support, and we have this movement to the upside with an increasing volume. And on my previous video, I've told you that we should see the breakout above this range of resistance with an increase in volume. And let me show you this candle first of all. It is not the biggest candle by the price action, but it has a very interesting volume. It is very high compared to other volumes during this day. And basically, it is almost the highest volume, and it is the highest green volume for the 2 consecutive days, and this was the sign that potentially it was some kind of accumulation level for some market makers. And on aftermarket hours, as you can see, it spiked up and reached very high levels of $16.86. And if I pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from this bottom to this top, what do we have right here? We hit exactly to the tick the golden pocket range, and statistically it is the most probable range of trend reversal, and it is another accumulation point for more conservative traders who will put their stop losses slightly below this previous bottom. And I have to say that we have even more confirmation of this potential uptrend, and we have less risks. So how to handle this movement? First of all, if you entered your position right here, and if you are still in your position, definitely you can put your stop loss slightly above your entry point in order to be on green territory, because if this asset breaks the golden pocket range, if it breaks about $13.5 mark, most likely it will retest the bottom, this range of support at roughly $11.7 mark. But it will be the 4th or even 5th retest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6th retest of this range. And the more retests of the certain range of resistance or support the asset has, the more likely it will break it. And this means if this asset breaks $13.5, most likely it will break this range. And in this case, our accumulation points will be lower in order to collect more power and in order to accumulate more lucrative position for upcoming bounce. But otherwise, if you want to enter your position right here at this very point, you can put your stop loss again slightly below this bottom, and it will give you about, let me show it to you, it will give you about 5% of potential losses, and the upside potential for this asset is still on the table. Let me switch to daily time frame, and let me show you the bigger picture of this movement. I don't need this tool right now, and let me show you this. So, if I pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its swing high that was at the very beginning of February to its swing low at $12 mark, we have following levels that might be our price targets in the medium-term perspective. So, first target is at $43.87, which implies about 270% of potential profit. And the next range is $63.58 with the upside potential of more than 140% This means this bounce to the upside will happen only in case that First Republic Bank will be saved by the government or will be purchased by another major banks, and when we will see the information that it is on this safer territory, definitely it will be a major spike in its price. Otherwise, we have to be very cautious, because if no one will decide to buy this bank, definitely its share price will be worthless. So, and that is the downside. I think that's it from the technical standpoint, and if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys until next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad.